everyone, I'm Lynise.
And I'm Mark.
And you're watching another episode of Living Well Uintah Basin, where success is defined by you. This week we had a great time on our show. I was able to, be on the couch, go play with a group of people some volleyball.
No, wait. I heard you were a beast at the net.
Oh, I was the ringer, let me just tell you.
Yeah, cool.
I know we play soccer, but I'm thinking I might be joining the volleyball team.
Full time.
And then on Dish by Dish, I was able to meet up with someone who taught us how to make an apple pie. And pie's kind of intimidating for people, especially apple pie. But after watching her and seeing how simple it is, I think I know what I'm going to be taking to this year's Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, you better. That was delicious.
So
and I got to go out with a local guy that likes to fly fish, and there's some great spots here in the Uintah Basin. And he showed us some of the techniques, and we had a ball out there. Well, let's fly after it, shall we, Lynise?
Let's do it.
Living Well Uintah Basin, presented by Ashley Regional Medical Center. Also made possible by Anadarko and Uintah Recreation District. Living well beyond the couch.
The winter months are coming and it's getting cold outside, and some of you might be wondering what it is that you can do to get you beyond the couch and stay active this winter. Tonight I'm down here with some people that play co-ed volleyball. For those of you that don't know what co-ed is, it's a group of people that get together, men and women of any shape, size, to play, to stay active, and just to have fun together. So tonight I want to talk to some of these guys, and I want to see what it is that they enjoy about the sport of volleyball, why it is that they come and play to get them off the couch, and who knows, if you're lucky, you might be able to see me even join a game with them. So let's go talk to them.
Probably the favorite part about co-ed volleyball is you don't have to have a skill, you don't have to be really good at it. You can come out, you can have some fun. It's not too serious of a sport, it's not too serious of a league, but you can get out, start sweating around a little bit.
The volleyball community here in Vernal is bigger than you think. Like the different tournaments that we've had, there are dozens and dozens of people. We play at the rec center all the time. I think that you can find some sort of level of volleyball everywhere.
If someone was interested in coming and trying to play with us, they have 3 different leagues. They have a lower league for the guys that are just starting out. They have a B league for the guys that are feeling a little bit more comfortable, and A league for those who are, getting a little bit more competitive. It doesn't take much to play, just bring your shoes and a pair of shorts and come on down to the gym and play.
Pretty much we have an open tab down in the Uintah Rec, and we try to fill it as much as we can, playing as many sports as we can. It's a great way to meet people. I'm not from around here, I'm from Washington originally, so it's a great way to get out and meet different people. Great way to stay fit, just come out and exercise. We're not doing a whole lot, but we break a sweat and we have a good time. So.
My name is Doris Salazar, and I work for the Uintah Recreation Center as a coordinator for activities and sports. Co-ed volleyball brings the whole family together and have lots of laughs and enjoy having fun just playing. It's really a popular sport. Just go on the website of uintahrecreation.org and you can find adult sports and click on, and you can find any activity that they're interested in playing, from volleyball to basketball, yoga, Zumba, anything that they want. They'll have a whole venue of what we have to offer.
Living well, dish by dish.
Well, the holidays are here, and I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for something fun to take to the gatherings and family outings that we have. And today Lori's with us, and she's going to be making, I'm going to hold this up really quick, it's an apple almond pie. It's a little bit different than your traditional pumpkin stuff, and so I've asked her to come and demonstrate this for us today. So, Lori, go ahead and tell us what you're going to do first.
Okay, yes, it is a little bit of a different spin than your normal apple pie, which the almond just gives a great, nice flavor. And we're going to just do our dried ingredients in a large bowl. You want to do 3/4 of a cup of sugar and 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And then we have salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 of nutmeg, and just 1/4 of salt. And then 1/4 of a cup of flour. and some sliced almonds, half of a cup. You can also use, I'm using the sliced today, but you can use the slivered almonds, just depending on what type that you like.
Well, the slivered would give it a little more of a chunkier flavor, I would think, as opposed to the
yeah,
sliced.
it's a little different. I think I like the thin of the sliced, but you can use either one.
So all our dry ingredients first.
Yes, you just want to mix it up really well, get out your clumps, and then you'll want to peel, core, and slice your apples. You can use whatever kind of apples you want in your pie.
So no specific, it doesn't have to be Gala, it doesn't have to be just any
It really doesn't,
apples,
and I know that
nice.
if you ask people what kind of apple to use, you'll probably get a different question or different answer from every person that you talk to. So today, I actually mixed the 2 apples. I like to do that occasionally. The only apple I don't really recommend is a green Granny Smith. It gives a little bit too tart of a flavor, but you can use a milder green or any sort of the Galas and the lighter reds. So we'll just stick this on here.
Okay, and we've gone ahead and for time, we've already peeled and sliced some of them, so. And they are turning just a little bit brown, and that's because we did it earlier. If you do it ahead of time, if you put a little lemon juice, Sprite, something like that, it'll help keep them from turning brown, but it's not gonna matter once we bake it up, so.
And then you'll just want to quarter your apples.
And these are all the red and green that we've already sliced up.
Yes, this
so
is
we've
the
got
mixture
the combination of
the red and green.
So your slices, just to kind of give you an idea, not too big, but
if you don't have a peeler core slicer, just chunk them up into small. I think that you want them to be rather thin.
Thin slices, not the chunks.
Not big chunks. Okay. And then all we're going to do is just toss these ingredients.
Okay. So we've got our dry ingredients and our apples now, and just toss those together.
Toss it really good. Make sure that you.
So you're just trying to coat them. I was going to say coat the apples with the.
Yep.
Okay.
Just coat them really well.
Okay. Why don't you let me stir for a minute if you want to.
Okay. Go ahead and we will prepare the pie crust.
Okay.
I am using a stone pie plate. You can use whatever kind of pie plate you like. I like stone just because it gives such an even, nice crust. Speaking of the pie crust, I don't do homemade pie crust. I've tried many times. It's never pretty, it never turns out, it's too flaky, it's too dry. I've never mastered it, so I buy my pie crust already prepared. It's in the refrigerator section in any grocery store, and I think it's the only way to go.
So don't be intimidated to make a pie, because you can buy store-bought pie crust. It doesn't matter.
It's pretty every time.
It turns out good.
And I just take a little plastic bag and coat around my pan really well so that it is nice and buttered. You want to use like a flour sifter to just kind of spread out some flour onto the countertop real lightly. When you roll it out,
I didn't coat it, so I'm going to set that aside.
And the way that I like to do it is I just take and throw it down onto the lightly sifted, then I flip it, and that's pretty much all the flour that you're going to need. And then just lightly roll it out. With apple pie, you have the bottom crust and the top crust, so you want to make sure that you make it a little larger than a normal pie crust would be. Not super thin, just roll it out a little. And then
I'm going to stick that in there.
Toss it into your pie plate. With the edges, try to kind of evenly hang them over at least an inch off of your pie plate. Okay, we have our pie crust all prepared, and we're going to add our apples in.
Okay.
And I've had Lynise prepare my top piece exactly the same way as we did the bottom piece. Roll it out a little bit larger. Okay, so we've added the apple mixture.
Okay.
And we're going to drizzle a half of a teaspoon of almond over the top of the pie.
And this has got to be what just makes
that great flavor.
I love almond.
And then you want to add 3 tablespoons of butter.
Okay.
Onto the top of the pie, just kind of evenly disperse it.
Melt in when it's.
And then we'll add the top piece that has been already prepared exactly the same way as our bottom, a little bit larger. And we'll just flip it onto there and then roll it, just fold it over and pinch it.
Okay, so this is how we're bringing the 2 crusts to one piece.
Yes,
okay,
just fold it and pinch.
Okay.
And you're a little bit, you're about even with your pan.
And just do that around the entire
pan. Okay, now we're finished and it's ready to stick in the oven.
And it looks beautiful.
One thing that I did want to explain, I used a heart cookie cutter. You can use whatever kind of cookie cutters you want, or you can just use a fork or a slit with knife. You just want to make sure that air can escape out of your pie. And also, I like to do tinfoil around the edge the entire time of baking the pie. The golden rule is the last 20 minutes of a pie, but I like my outside, I don't like it to be more done or more flaky. And so just to be safe, I always do it the entire time.
Okay. So the last step is sticking it in the oven and you're ready to go.
And we are ready to serve.
All right, and we made one earlier and I went ahead and sliced myself up a piece because I've been dying to try it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this. I love almond, and that's anything almond, so.
Yeah, me too. Almond adds a great little twist to the apple.
This is delicious. Go online, get the recipe. I'm talking with my mouth full, how's that? Lori, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Until next time, thanks for joining us. Anadarko's health and safety tips suggest you start your day by drinking a large glass of warm water to end the drought of the night and to remove accumulated waste from your system. It will also help give you energy in the early morning.
Living well, your way.
Hello everyone. We're here at Little Brush Creek in the Red Fleet State Park, and with me is Walt Donaldson, self-described professional fisherman, right, Walt?
Yes.
Have you ever made any money fishing?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I changed a lady's tire one time and she hooked me up with a little bit of cash for my time.
Oh, there
That's
we go. Tire and fishing. Well, anyway, we're here at the Brush Creek, and we've asked Walt to come on the show because you started fishing. How old were you when you started fishing?
4
years old. And I imagine you had some family that was involved in that.
My father taught me.
So your father started you when you were 4 years old. You're 32 now, so you've been fishing for about 30 years, and it's a family tradition, something that you and your dad built together. And are you carrying that tradition on with your kids?
Yes. Starting to take my daughter. She's 2, but she loves it.
Never too early to start fishing.
Never too early.
Right. So this is something that you can take yourself out into a beautiful setting just like this, and you can enjoy things with your father, with your daughter. You know, she's 2 years old, and your father's got to be getting up there. Don't let him say it. Tell him. Don't let him know I said that on TV.
He's an old mountain goat,
yeah,
but he can still do it.
But some kind of a tradition you can build with your family and a way for you to get out of there. What does fishing do for you as a person? I mean, we have the daily stress at work, you know, the family, you know, the community. What does this do for you and your family?
It's a great way to exercise. It's a great way to relax. It's a good way to burn off some stress. Takes quite a bit of technical skill, but once you practice it a little bit, it's just relaxing and good for you, straight up.
Yeah, you know, you say technical skill. Walt brought with him a pole he made when he was 14 years old in the Boy Scouts, and you know, not everyone's going to be able to make a handmade fly pole. This is, you say it's kind of beat up. It's beautiful to me, but you know, someone that's out there is thinking, man, I could really use something like this. How do they get started? Where do they go for a resource?
My best advice I can give people, and I do it all the time, is go to Walmart or someplace and get a decent cheap rod. You'll spend 40 bucks on a rod, maybe 50, and go test out some places up in the Uintahs. Go find a smaller stream. Every one of them's got some sort of brook trout in it or a cutthroat in it. Great place to start. They're kind of hungry, so they'll take anything you throw at them.
Yeah, you say Walmart. I know we have some local fly shops. You got the Bigfoot Fly Shop,
yep.
And you know, and these guys love to help you get started.
Definitely.
Know? And you talk about a fly you've got on here. What's this? What kind of fly have you got on there?
It's an egg-sucking leech.
Egg-sucking leech, right? And they all have a different kind of name on it. But you go to the fly shop, and they'll have a broad spectrum of flies. You know, you'll have from caddises all the way down to something like this, and something different for every season. You talk to those guys there at the stores, and they'll help you out.
They're great resources. I always talk to the people there at Bigfoot or Uintah Angler. They've all got good advice on where to go. Or you can check some websites. There's the Division of Natural Resources has a fish finder type deal that they'll list some of the hot spots in the state and what fish are hitting at the time.
Right, and so you're talking about a great way to get off the couch, get out here and work your some of the stress out, and also exercise. You know, we're walking up and down this creek, and it's not exactly easy. We have to find our way through the path, and you know, by the time you've walked up and down a creek, you can find out you've in an hour and a half time walked 3 or 4 miles. You know, so great exercise that way, and it's not expensive to get started. You know, now talk to me about some of the hot spots. Where would you say? I mean, we're only 10 minutes outside of Vernal here at the Red Fleet Park.
Hot spots, there's all kinds of lakes. There's Matt Warner, Calder, Kraus, Pelican. It's a great place for bass. Bruff Reservoir is a great place for trout and bass. Jones Hole, the Green River. There's plenty of places around here. It's a wonderful, wonderful area of the state.
You talk about Jones Hole and the Green River. These are places people fly from all around the world to get to that spot, and here we have it in our backyard, just up the hill. So, well, I think you've got a great pole. It's a beautiful November day. What kind of season is there for fishing? I mean, when does the season end? We go from...
When you're brave, you can go all year.
Yeah.
It gets cold, but you can still go all year round.
So there's no season. We can go ice fishing. We can go out in a t-shirt and a pair of shorts in the middle of July, right?
Definitely.
Well, Walt, thanks for being here on the show. I'd really like to go out here and see if we can catch one of these browns that's here in the Little Brush Creek. You ready?
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Well, that was a great catch out there, Lynise. I had a ball. I know you did too. I want to thank all of our sponsors and our guests this week. Most importantly, VTV Channel 6 for putting on this show.
And as a reminder, if you want to get that recipe that we showed, go to the website, which is vtvchannel6.com, and the recipe will be there.
Until next time, live well, Uintah Basin.
See you next time.